central element in the manufacturing world is maintaining and monitoring the quality of products to be shipped and accurately tracked whenever a defect is detected. These steps typically require the involvement of numerous parties across departments, substantial person-hours for phone calls, sending emails, taking memos, reviewing reports, and meetings. Typically, each division, manufacturing, engineering, and quality control, all conduct their own independent reviews. This means that information from other teams is most of the times unknown until a joint review meeting is started. The problem is that this process is time-consuming and highly vulnerable to the introduction of errors. Let's see some of the new features in the 2023 release wave for Power Platform, which allows the digitalization of these communications to optimize business processes while significantly speeding up the production line. One of the most substantial causes of time loss and inefficiencies is the amount of phone calls needed to notify relevant parties whenever there's trouble, incidents, or issues they could not solve. So the first objective is to eliminate manual processes, but where to start? With Power Automate, organizations are able to easily get started building new automations just by describing them in natural language. With this release, the feature supports additional actions, connectors, geo-availability, and parameter filing and explainability to make the experience even easier. Using state-of-the-art AI models like GPT-3, Power Automate can take natural language as input to create flows. You're now able to use everyday natural language to describe the cloud flow you want, and Power Automate can create it based on a simple written description of the scenario to automate. So now, having built the automation, next step is to build a solid approval process, which will handle specific issues which cannot be solved. Creating sequential approvals with multiple levels or stages in Power Automate has never been easier. With this new feature, you can define multiple levels or stages in an approval flow from within Microsoft Teams or from within Power Automate. Makers can define who needs to approve a flow at different levels or stages. The approval request goes to the next level or stage after all the approvers in a previous stage approve the flow. If someone rejects the flow at any stage, it's considered rejected, and it's not passed on to other stages. All approvers can see the history of the approvals at each stage, and they can see the final outcome too. To automate responses to common questions around quality issues of specific products, Power Virtual Agents is the perfect choice to build a Q&A chatbot. Rich response authoring already allows you to present information to your users using adaptive cards. With the next release, you'll be able to send interactive adaptive cards to collect information from your users. You can include form fields such as drop-downs and date pickers on your card, and the authoring experience is made incredibly seamless, with a new dedicated node that will analyze your card and intelligently generate all of the output variables needed to store a user's response. You'll also have control over how your bot handles incoming messages and other events. By associating your topic with one of the new triggers, you can intercept incoming events from a channel, such as Microsoft Teams, or even configure a topic to run every time a message is received, allowing you to perform tasks such as sentiment analysis. And as well as being able to handle incoming events, you can now also send events and other types of messages, enabling you to achieve things like adding a delay between outgoing messages or sending a typing indicator. Next step is to build a production management app to manage their quality assurance process, which all team members can use to immediately confirm important information on screen while at their workstations. The need is for an app to review action items and topics before a meeting, so that those discussions can proceed more smoothly. With Power Apps, makers can now use drag and drop to more easily build responsive pages. The introduction of the responsive layout containers unlocked the ability for makers to create one app for multiple form factors. Now, we're making the responsive layout containers even easier than ever to use. The new layout configuration allows makers to add and easily resize controls and adjust the spacing between them right in the authoring canvas. In addition to that, beautiful applications can now be built by using new and refreshed controls. Power Apps now have an updated user interface aligning to the latest Microsoft Fluent design system. This provides makers with beautiful controls and experiences to delight their end users. The new look and feel includes new themes and updated styling, including fonts, colors, borders, shadows, and more. Ultimately, the goal of a quality assurance process is to avoid problems within the production process even before they emerge. That's why the natural choice is to place a website built with Power Pages right at the center of the decision support solution. With this release, with solution awareness for Power Pages, site configuration becomes portable, making it effortless to move a site and its components from one environment to another, thereby simplifying application lifecycle management for Power Pages. Power Pages application lifecycle management using solutions will allow makers to migrate site configuration between environments and provide an experience that is consistent with other Power Platform applications. This capability provides simplified and enhanced visual experience through a dedicated solution area for managing Power Pages components. As protection of organization data is key to driving enterprise trust, we aim to provide administrators the ability to enforce additional security measures through a data policy. A new feature we're announcing is implementing data loss prevention policy to block anonymous access to data in Dataverse tables via Power Pages. By configuring this data policy, admins can avoid accidental exposure of their organizational data by makers to anonymous users. Currently, administrators do not have control over Power Pages for restricting data access to anonymous users. This data policy, configured from the Power Platform Admin Center, will prevent makers from unintentionally exposing organizational data to anonymous users, as it will enforce authentication for all end users. To learn more about the Power Platform 2023 Release Wave 1, we encourage you to review the entire release notes and try out the early access features for this release as they become available. Thank you.